We're ready.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of the Dragon family, distinguished and honorable supporters of True Vision of Peace, and my colleagues. I am Crystal G, True Vision of Peace co-founder with the Ambassador. I'm thrilled to chair our first Meet the Ambassador and his team session. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to this event. The theme of the discussion is Seeking Greater Understanding of Building a Better World Together. I hope that the discussions that will take place in this session will shed a different light on this topic that is so vital to our global condition today. We take this opportunity to listen to enlightening views on the best way to achieve our vision and mission in bringing unity, harmony, and peace to this turbulent world. I want everyone to just relax now because we are doing this session and we have to do it well. And I want you to do a small little short relaxation and pray with me. So taking a deep breath. Hold your breath and exhale. As you inhale, you're breathing in the chi, positive energy that cleanses and revitalizes your body and your mind. And as you breathe out, you are exhaling out all the negativity and stresses from your body and mind. Breathe in positivity, and breathe out. And may all the stresses of the day just leave your body now. Now connect within and ask that our thoughts and words are in alignment with the Supreme Creative loving light. Right. I will now call upon His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Dragon family, to give his welcome address and speech.
Yes, hello everyone, and thank you very much to join us here today. I'm very much happy that you all came here and took your time to spend here with us. Okay. And I hope that we're going to be able to have a good discussion, and we can have some clear answers as much as possible to the question that you all might have. Okay. Also, as I wanted to state, is that I want us here in the group to be able to communicate in the future also and expand these groups into a bigger think tank and assist each other here in the process of building a better true peace environment. I've been talking many times before and talking about that true peace basically is when you have peace of mind, body, and soul. And when that's unified as one, then we basically have true peace. And so that's something that we need to inspire. We have been also addressing earlier before this call, we were talking, many of us before, we were talking about, trauma and traumatization and the system, how it's not been working as well as it should be. To say it lightly, and how can we do this and change and shift and change that we need to do now to basically create a better world. And that's basically what we're going to talk about today, and see what you have to question, what you have to say, and what type of input you have so that I can listen to it. I myself, as you all know, have been suffering this last days of tremendous pain in my jaw, an infection from my teeth up in my jaw. So excuse me, I've been on pain medications and antibiotics and so on. So I'm having pain when I speak, and I maybe doesn't think as clear as I should be. But I will try to do my best to both answer the questions and also to be able to engage in the discussions with you for the next coming 2 hours that we have together. And also, I would like to say that from the side of a master and also the people above me in the family structure, they're also happy to see the engagement of people, and the people are ready to engage to make this place a better place. And we have a lot of forums, as you all know, that we are setting up, and I want us all to work together and cooperate to be able to make this place a better place. Okay, so I will give this as my end of my introduction, so that everyone else will be having time to ask the questions to me, because I think it's important for people to be able to ask the questions to me so that I can hear and understand what's on your mind, and see how we can work together to basically make this place a better place. And so I will leave it to the next now. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you so much for your address. Now, I would like to call upon Reverend Radagast to give his 5-minute presentation of what he's doing at True Vision of Peace. Thank you.
Hello all, good morning. Well, I am largely a communications person, and that's how I got into True Vision of Peace, through communicating what I thought the ambassador and his message and the Dragon family were trying to get out to people. When the ambassador was speaking through other people, I would often go to where the discussions were had, and I saw a lot of confusion. And I thought his message was actually very clear, and I just couldn't understand why other people seemed to be missing it. So I took it upon myself to start making videos and explaining my take on what the ambassador and the Dragon family were trying to do in the world. And those videos got noticed, and then I got picked up into True Vision of Peace. And I've largely functioned, many of my videos earlier on were a little bit of mix of my own commentary and commentary about the ambassador. But since I've been with True Vision of Peace, much of my material is now covering what we're trying to do, which is save humanity, I guess would be one of the ways of putting it. And we're finding out that to do that is going to require actually rebuilding the world differently, because a lot of the existing structures just can't really be rethreaded or patched. They need to be reconceived. I guess certain things can certainly stand and be repurposed, but much of what we're doing here, and much of why we're calling together these think tanks, is because we need to reconceptualize how we're going to do things. And in many ways, what has already been built is pretty decrepit and diseased. And so we need we need a new system. And that is what we are conceiving here together. That's why we're calling together visionaries and people who know how to take an idea and turn it into a plan, and then turn that into actuality. So my job at True Vision of Peace is to keep a dialogue going with the many people, I guess, in the Awake and Aware crowd, the conspiracy theory crowds. It's been interesting because, again, there's the conspiracy theory crowd often comes with a lot of skepticism. And when that skepticism gets turned in certain directions, it becomes an interesting challenge to kind of get above the confusion and the noise. But what's very nice is that when we have these kind of talks, we have been attracting the kind of people in our business seminars. And so this is our first Meet the Ambassador. And having fielded the incoming emails, I'm very happy to have you all here. I couldn't ask for what I really think is a group of people who are not better qualified to conceive and help us build this better world that can be done through vision, and then also through the funding that can be made available for these visions. So I guess I don't have a clock here, but That's my piece. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodriguez. It was well said. I'm going to share screen because I prepared a PowerPoint presentation, and I'll be doing my bit of the things that I do in True Vision of Peace. So I'm sharing screen. I'm going to pull out the screen. Right. That's a True Vision of Peace. Okay, next slide. True Vision of Peace, Sunday special, meet the ambassador and True Vision of Peace team. And then I'm going to have the next slide. Sorry, can't catch the. Okay, there you go. The theme is seeking greater understanding of building a better world together, and that's today's date. This is the program. So we have 5 minutes each, and I will be going very quickly, and then we have the Q&A after Natalia has finished her presentation. And then we are going to have about more than 1 hour of Q&A, both Q&A and a think tank session. Please mute your microphone if you're not speaking, because this is a recording. And then the ambassador will be acknowledging the delegate, and then I will do the closing remarks and announcement of next session's theme. It is our tradition for the chair to choose the next theme for the next session, and then we'll end. So basically, that is what happened. Now, yeah. Okay, I would like to share what we do here very quickly, because we need to know what's going on in True Vision of Peace. Share screen, share screen. There is a lot of noise in the background.
That's from Kevin.
Kevin, would you mute your microphone, please? Please mute your microphone, because this is a recording. It's got to be clean. There we go. Thank you very much, Kevin. So this is, if you go to the website, the True Vision of Peace website, and you click on seminars and workshops, you will see what's happening. Okay, we have workshops and seminars and more workshops coming up. Instead of just the business plan one that Gwen's doing, we're gonna have new workshops coming up with other topics as well. So be on the lookout, because this website is always changing and evolving and having add-ons of contents and pages. And this is our event here in the middle. And if you see the other page, is the okay, you will be put in the Voice of the Dragons page. Okay, this recording here will be placed somewhere below the newsletter, or we find a good place so it's noticeable. And then we have a very important page called volunteering, and you are exceptionally talented and skillful out there, and we need you. We need you to help us achieve our vision. And with the mission statement that we have in the website, if you read it and it resonates with your heart, please go into this page and help us with the 3 True Vision of Peace Logistics and Operations departments. We have the True Vision of Peace Resource Department, where we are looking out for people who are in television, web broadcasting, video production, radio shows, publications, advertising, marketing, social media, networking. And we have the second option, that is the True Vision of Peace Wares Operations Center, Save Our Water, Save Our Air, Save Our Rainforest, or the 555, okay? And then the last one is the True Vision of Peace Spectrum of Peace Activism Department, where we have all these criteria and areas that you would be interested in: science and inventions, new, green, and free energy technologies, IT technology. Exploit yourself. And I can't even begin to say anymore, because, well, time is of the essence, got to move on. So every one of you got a chance to say your piece here on this session. Right, so we will move on. And next on the agenda, I've got to call upon Natalia to do a presentation of what she intends to look forward to with True Vision of Peace. Natalia?
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you here. Well, right now I'm working on the project called Natural Healing, and unfortunately, I have not been able to go through my mails and answer to all the people who are interested in my initiation, but I will do that within the next days. So the concept of natural healing is, as you all know, right now when we get sick, we go to the doctor to cure ourselves, but what we get instead is another disease that we have to cure again. So this is the endless circle, which I would like to break down and find the natural remedies, find the natural healings, find the doctors, like real doctors with diplomas, who also are fed up of bureaucracy and of prescribing antibiotics that actually kill as good and as bad bacteria. So you all know how it works, and it's a very pity for me to see, if we want to be healthy, we go to the doctor. But why we don't go to vegetable store? Why we don't look what we eat? Why we want the immediate result? Again, taking pills and chemicals instead of having a healthy lifestyle for years or during the years, so we don't have that problem. So basically, this is my message, and I'm deeply enthusiastic to go forward with that. Once again, if you have any people, any healers or any doctors that want to change the system, because I think this is the duty and responsibility of every one of us. This is what we face every day, and if we just keep closing our eyes on all these problems in our how to say medical system, we will not win this war. Just email me all your thoughts, all your problems about natural healing, about how doctors are trying to kill us, because this is actually happening all over the world. Instead of giving us medicine, they give us something to die with. I have faced it myself in the country I'm coming from, where they made all these injections to little babies that very soon had diseases or died. So this is a very painful question for me, and I have been struggling myself with doctors who are just trying to get as much money as possible. Please don't pass by. Just send me a message, and we will work together and try to change the system. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. That is so interesting, isn't it? That we could actually do something there. Now we've got time. I will now, without much ado, open it to the floor. So it's question and answer time. Who would like to start off the question and answer with the ambassador? Hands up. Or just speak up.
Yes, you can choose to unmute your mic and then speak.
This is Jackie, and
Hi.
I speaking of what Natalia said, I have had so many problems with my health. I was in 3 accidents in 1987, and have had many issues with the doctors. 2 near-death experiences at the hands of the doctors, and ended up in a wheelchair and have been in bed, had to learn how to walk again. And in all this time, I have discovered that I don't want to go back to a doctor. And so I stay away from the doctor, and I've been able to heal myself. I've taken myself off a cane, and I walk freely now. And it's all working with the mind, I believe. I do a lot of different things, but I work with herbs and stuff like that. And my husband had a heart attack 3 years ago, and he was given medicine that actually causes Alzheimer's. And when we saw signs of that, we started researching the herbs. And he has been on Ayurvedic medicine for the last 3 years. And we take nothing but herbs to cure ourselves. And he's doing really well, and so am I. So I think that Natalia is absolutely right in what she's doing, and I'd love to join your team, Natalie.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. That's wonderful. It's so nice to know that you are a testimony of the use of natural herbs and natural healing. And you were just talking early on in our casual meet and greet session that you could help the ambassador with his toothache. That is so wonderful. We'll get the recipe from you soon enough. Now, do you have a question for the ambassador, Jackie?
Yeah. There are many different treatments out there, and I was just wondering how many he has. Like there's energy medicines out there, and there's a doctor that's dealing with, his name is Jerry Tennant, who I just read his book. It's called Healing, Voltage is Healing. He's working with a new medicines. How much have you guys actually acquired? You talk about the new energy and new healing devices after we get rid of the cabal. Is this something right on the cusp, or are we, as the team that you're trying to gather here, are we going to bring it forward, or I guess that's the question.
Yeah, it's a very good question that you did, because there's a lot of confusion in this particular regard. Okay, and the thing is this way, is that it's no lack of technologies, and even for cures for many of the diseases that people unfortunately have to die for. Okay, the problem that we have in the Western world is that in our world is that we're being limited access to these technologies. We're limited access to the medical cures. We're limited access to the free energy technologies that already exist. And I have been having this discussion many times, because it's no lack of technology, it's no lack of money in this world. What it is a problem is that we have a lack of will, and basically a lack of faith. And that's from the top down and from the down up. And this is where traditional peace comes in, and also with the trust that I have to basically try to force our way through, if you say, to be a nice way to state it, and to use some of these technologies and use these things so that the world can see it, and then it's very hard for the cabal to deny it. So it's not that we are waiting for the cabal to disappear before we release it. It's the cabal that basically blocks it from being released where it's needed to be released, because they still control legislations in these areas and can basically, under sovereign rights, block us. Okay, and that's basically where the problem is today, and that's why we try to go in through places where we have our own sovereignty to show the world that this technology exists and work, and basically this way force this technologies on the market. So that's a little bit, you know, a way that I look at it and see through it. And it's a dangerous game, but we have to try to do our best because, you know, what would we tell our children if we didn't? Okay. I hope that answered your questions, Jackie.
Yes.
And actually, you know, some clinics already exists in the different locations that treats many of the diseases on the planet. And unfortunately, you know, when I am where I am right now, I don't have access to the technologies that normally I could in another place. And that's what we need to change.
And one thing I've noticed is that anytime the new technologies are brought in, they have to do it, they either have to leave this country or they're persecuted. And that includes assassination, or they work. Dr. Tennant, he has a doctor, and he has figured out ways to move through the system, which is pretty nice. But most of the people have been run out of the U.S.
No, this is the problem. I mean, even myself, I have a few attempts on my life in the past, okay, for the work I've been doing. And that's one of the reasons why I've been suffering a lot with my health this last 2 years, is because of the last poisoning I received. And then basically I stopped breaking apart. But by the grace of God, basically I will get better and we will continue to win this battle.
All right. Oh, thank you very much for such amazing questions you got for the ambassador, Jackie. Now, I have taken note what you were saying. It's great. Now we've got to move on. Is there anybody now who would like to pose a question to the ambassador before we move on to the think tank session?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Let me speak quickly.
Morgan?
Yes. I show up as Beth, but actually I'm Gary. I used my wife's card when I signed up. I'd like to say something about how I arrived at this moment in time. It actually started about 25 years ago when I got involved in some things. And one thing led to another, which led to another, which led to another, which ultimately led me here. I will, when I get through speaking, I will pose a couple of questions that the ambassador may want to not answer now, but I do think that they do need to be addressed. I got involved in some things that many thousands of other people across the country as well as outside of the country. I'm referring to things such as programs such as Burger Savage, SBC Charco, Omega Trust and Trading. These programs were all supposedly or allegedly tied into huge, large sums of gold, usually gold relating to the World War II era. And I am confident that there's probably somebody in this group now that has had a similar history as I have. In my researching of things, I found it all very interesting. I communicated for a while with Sterling Seagrave, as well as a gentleman named David Guyett. Now, to bring this specifically to this situation, the ambassador and others have talked about a great deal of anger and hostility that's been addressed to him. I suspect that some of that anger and hostility is from individuals who got involved many years ago in things and thought they were really involved in something that would make their lives much, much better. And there's a lot of anger and hostility. So I don't know if the ambassador wants to address those issues now or wait until a later date. Also, the second thing that I wanted to ask the ambassador in my research, I keep running across situations where people want to know, well, where's your funding coming from? Who is your funding source? Sometimes it's a little humorous because, I say, well, it's from the ambassador. And they say, yeah, who's the ambassador? So I've talked with a number of entities, and one of the questions that comes up frequently is the legal issue, and I think this has been addressed to a certain extent. The legal questions concerning money coming into the United States from sources outside the United States. One entity that I talked with is heavily involved in hooking up investors with green programs. They insure all of the individuals wanting to operate some kind of a business, a green business, that their investors are fully SEC approved. Again, I don't know if the ambassador wants to address that now or later. I'd also like to end by saying thank you to Gwen. I've talked with Gwen by phone 2 or 3 times, and thank you to Crystal. So she sent me a couple of emails yesterday, also to the Reverend, and I'd like to give some encouragement to Ron Van Dyke. I have a similar situation to Ron. I've been, I understand pretty much what Ron is dealing with right now. I would give him encouragement. I would encourage him to seek medical attention, particularly to his relative to his buildup of fluid. Also, though, I have found that 4 foods have been very instrumental in keeping me healthy. It's very simple: avocados, olive oil, grapefruit, and garlic. So I shall end with that. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you, Morgan.
Yes, I would like to address the thing. I think you were talking about the Omega funds, and it's interesting is that and similar type of funds. It's basically different accounts under the system. Okay. On the different keeperships. And you can even hear, for example, our dear friend, Mr. Sino, that, with Swiss Indo stories, he was always talking about the Alpha Omega /1 to 11 and so on and so on. When he's talking about it, and he's referring to the assets under the Alpha Omega account. Okay. Now, the thing is this way is that, as I stated before, it's a lot of different accounts in the system going under different names, like he's talking about the Alpha Omega different orders and accounts. At the same time, you can also talk about like the Morning Star and White Spiritual Boy and White Spiritual Wonder Boy and King David account and Prophet Muhammad and all these different type of accounts.
Ambassador, I don't mean to interrupt. We will be locked out in a minute. So everyone, please log in again with the old code 514-366-9938.
Okay, so then we continue from where I ended now. Okay, thank you.
You were saying the spiritual boy, yeah.
We do have 2 minutes left.
Oh, we have 2 minutes left. Yeah. Do you want to take a party break? Meaning to say go to the toilet and then logged in with the old number, the 514 on the Skype, on the chat box. If you look at the number, I don't want to repeat this because this is recorded. So if you look at the chat, please write down the number, the old code that you had, the 514 one, starting from 514, and then you get back to class again. I think we should, Ambassador, with your permission, can we just take a break from here, and then we get back in 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we will conclude the meeting temporarily. I will stop recording, and I will see you all on the other side.
Thank you, Radagast. See you soon.